I've been on a Detective Conan kick lately, so today I'm going to take a chance and look at the first movie for the franchise, specifically the English dub for The Time-Bombed Skyscraper. Detective Conan, or Case Closed in English, is an anime manga series by Gosho Aoyama. It's about a high school detective named Jimmy Kudo, or Shinichi Kudo in Japanese, who gets into trouble when some men in black catch him snooping on them. They force feed him a drug intended to kill him, but instead it turns him into a small child. Now, under the alias of Conan Edogawa, he's chasing those men in the hopes of turning back to a teen, all while solving cases that range from the ordinary to the highly dangerous. Having watched Murder, She Wrote and Monk, this has a familiar feel regarding the mystery elements. Though given the setting, this one dabbles a lot with high school romance, police drama, cultural appreciation, and of course, espionage. Lots and lots of espionage. It's honestly a really good series, but my god is it long! At the time of writing, the manga has over 1140 chapters, and the anime has over 1150 episodes, and neither look close to finishing. Then there are the 28 movies that all seem to release in April, usually before Japan's Golden Week, and with great commercial success at the domestic box office. Aoyama does seem to coordinate with the animation team a lot, according to the Detective Conan World Wiki, and while the movies are usually considered non-canon, certain details from them end up in the anime and manga proper. I'd love to dive deeper on how both are intertwined, but that depends on how this movie turns out. So let us dive bomb into this time-bombed skyscraper and see how it pans out. We open on a case that's about to be wrapped up. We get a look at the show's core cast of characters, starting with Detective Kogoro Mori. In the dub, he's Richard Moore, voiced by R. Bruce Elliott. He's a sleazebag, and also a major dumbass. He also accuses one suspect of killing her father because he supposedly wrote her Japanese name on the computer, which is Jun, which can also mean June or dry month.
You were the one. What does my birth month have to do with anything at all? Minazuki equals Mina my foot. I'm a murderer based on your ignorant play on words? Now, you call it ignorant, I call it logical deduction.
So it's up to Conan to set things right, as usual. He does this by knocking Richard out with a sleeping dart before impersonating his voice with his high-tech bow tie and revealing the true culprit and motive. Both are frequent gags in this series, by the way. In this case, it's Manami Goodsby. The blood on the keyboard was his after he was hit in the back of the head, but he hit one key earlier that was too far from the others as he fell over. That key being the one that switches the text to English. Manami also walked in undetected by taking her sandals off, and that led to an unusual pattern of blood on the floor. Sure enough, her sock has a stain. As to why she did it, it went back to Kornhauser killing her husband as a drunk surgeon. Unable to testify or press charges, she became his housekeeper in the hopes of killing him.
I will never regret what I did. Kornhauser was a monster who deserved what he got.
Yeah, typically a lot of the culprits have somber reasons for doing stuff. Not always, though not all the victims turn out as bad as the murderers at other times. Now, after the title card, Conan goes over what we would know by this point, which can serve to help newcomers understand his situation. Going over some more voice credits, Conan is voiced by Alison Victorin and Minami Takayama, while his Jimmy/Shinichi voice is done by Jerry Jewell and Kappa Yamaguchi. His childhood friend Ron, or Rachel, is voiced by Wakana Yamazaki and dubbed in English by Colleen Clickenbeard. She's Jimmy's love interest, but is not aware that Jimmy has shrunken down to Conan. Doc Agasa, creator of Conan's Many Gadgets, is voiced by Bill Flynn, giving him a kind of German accent, and Kenichi Ogata. Then you have the Junior Detective League, sometimes called the Detective Boys, though there is a girl in the group, that Conan founded after turning into a kid. First we have Amy/Ayumi, the cute one of the group who has a crush on Conan. Mitch/Mitsuhiko is the slightly smart one, for a kid, but also known for having the voice of Pikachu and Chopper. Finally, we have George/Genta, the large one who loves to eat.
With a keen eye for details, one truth prevails.
And that's also the subtitle for the English series. Anyway, the plot continues with Conan sorting through his parents' mail. Agasa comes across a letter for Jimmy from some famous architect named Leo Joel, or Teshi Moria, who wants to invite him over to a tea party. Since Jimmy is missing, Conan gets Rachel's help by having her go in his place, and she can even bring her dad and Conan to the party. Rachel agrees, but in return she wants to go to the movies with Jimmy on May 3rd.
Wait, which do you like better, red or blue?
Red, I guess.
Red, huh? Oh, that makes me so happy!
We'll get back to that. Anyway, we run into Inspector McGuire, voiced by Mark Stoddard, and Shafruin, who just finished up something with rookie officer Nicholas Santos, or Ninzaburo Shiratori, voiced by Eric Vale, and Kaneto Shiwazawa. He's a movie character who later appeared in the manga and anime, and he's part of a love triangle plot that I won't get into right now. Apparently there's a crime wave during the bicentennial anniversary of Nishitami City. He then learns that Rachel is going out with Jimmy on the 3rd of May, because that's his birthday and Conan completely forgot. Even he can be a bit of a dumbass.
I do not condone you two making lovey-dovey all night in a dark place like that.
Cut it out, Dad! You're so gross!
Not so much gross, more like overprotective. Thus they arrive at the mansion the party is at. Richard pretends to know about architecture, though he's clearly BSing it. We also meet Leo, voiced by Kent Williams and Taro Ishida, who proudly states how he does his stuff for beauty over simple money and fame. He then challenges everyone with a riddle about the names of 3 men with different birth dates and blood types, and the prize is a tour of his private gallery. Conan obviously figures it out and provides the answer.
It's Momotaro, sir! The trick is their animal zodiac signs. Japanese tradition assigns animals to each new year. Monkey, bird, and dog. Each serve the Japanese hero Momotaro.
So he and Rachel get to see various portraits of various projects that Leo worked on, including the manor that the Kornhauser family was in. When asked about Jimmy, Rachel goes over her plans for him at the movies.
I'm going to get him a red shirt that I just know he'll love.
That's a dynamite idea, Miss Moore.
Oh yeah, how is Jimmy gonna get out of this one? No way Agasa can make a robot. Word spreads of a robbery that took place with stolen gunpowder and C4, and arson cases, like one that happened at the Cornhouse residence. The doc gets a call from someone with a disguised voice who admitted to the act, but now wants to seek out Jimmy. By the way, this detail of Conan using a different cell phone from Jimmy doesn't become canon until much later. Conan is told to be at the park because the children are depending on him. When he gets there, he sees his Detective League friends playing with a remote-controlled plane that some guy gave them. He quickly realizes that the thing has a bomb inside and tries to seize it. The plane almost hits the kids, but Conan manages to use his super sneakers to kick the remote at it, and... Damn, whoever this guy is, he must really hate children. He calls our hero again, realizes he's calling a kid and not his teenager target, but provides the location of the next bomb anyway, which is under an old tree at Baker Station. Conan speeds off on his solar-powered skateboard and notices an old lady picking up a cat carrier below a bench.
I'll bring you home and take good care of you.
An old tree? Wait, the cat!
He didn't stick the bomb in the cat, did he? Conan chases after her until his board gets damaged. He borrows some kid's bike to catch up to the car before taking the carrier that actually has the bomb inside. For some reason, the timer stops. He takes this chance to ride off with it before it restarts. As the seconds count down, he leaps off as it goes down a slope, and then... Jeez, how much explosive powder did this guy steal? Conan's taken to the hospital where his friends show up for him. Rachel isn't here because she's too busy shopping to hear the news. But our hero doesn't mind.
So, you like living on the edge, huh? Don't ever do that again!
He can be harsh, but deep down he does at least care for his safety. Conan will be fine, just needs to stay for the night. McGuire tells him the 2 bombs are tied to the stolen explosives, and if the bomber tries calling them, there won't be interference from the hospital equipment. As for why the timer stopped, no clue. The Detective League tried sketching a picture of who gave them the plane, and It's not super helpful, though it was said that the bomber smelled kinda sweet. As for motive and who could have done it, they think back to a big case involving a councilman's son. Once, he allegedly accidentally hit an office worker and was willing to turn himself in. But Jimmy recreated that scene with a cigarette found at the scene and realized that the son didn't do it.
Sorry, you're a good son, but it's clear you were sitting in the passenger seat beside your father who was driving.
Instead, the son willingly took the blame for his father, meaning he went to jail, and thus the new subdivision that the father championed was postponed indefinitely. It's possible the son still holds a grudge on Jimmy, so Santos is asked to look into him. Once the kids leave, they receive another call. Richard steps in since, well, this is a job for the adults. The bomber says he's placed 5 bombs on the city's train line. They are set to explode after 4 p.m. But here's the thing.
If any train travels below 60 kilometers per hour, they'll explode.
Can you guess what the reference is? Still, the bombs aren't too hard to find, apparently. McGuire puts the word out, and the operations chief orders all trains to start moving and maintaining a speed above 60.
Run all trains non-stop until the bombs are found! Go now!
Hi, Kyle Hebert. And of course the kids are on one of the trains, trying to get home because children are never with their parents in anime. Most of the time. The bombs turn on, so now they have till sunset to find them. Conan contacts his friends about the bomb threat. George admits that they can't rely on Conan all the time and they should do something.
Now, Junior Detective League, fall out! Hi!
Yeah, they don't do anything else for the rest of the movie. Agasa brings Conan a TV to keep track of everything, while Conan deduces how the bombs work based on speed sensors and how it could tell time. Meanwhile, Rachel is having lunch with her wealthy best friend, Serena, voiced by Laura Bailey, and Naoko Matsui as Sonoko. She's also as ditzy as Clover from Totally Spies.
Oh, relax, Baz, I'm kidding. I know you need some alone time with your little detective, but you have to spill the nitty-gritty details.
She's also Conan's second meat puppet after Richard when it comes to providing deductions. Panic ensues as people get antsy, and when hearing about the bomb, one guy nearly jumps out a window. Conan finally figures out where the bombs are after Agasa notes how they must be solar-powered like his skateboard. He tells McGuire that the bombs are on the rails, and through some math, he estimates that the bombs take over 12 seconds to go off once the train covers them from the sun. They also take 12 seconds to pass over those bombs at their current speed, and once over, the timer resets. Thus, the police order the trains to get off the loop so they can get the bombs that way. They all do this, and sure enough, it works, and the bombs are all found in time. There's still the matter of the bomber and the explosives, as 3/4 of them have yet to be used. Santos also learns that the councilman's son is not a suspect, as he left on a plane well before this started. Richard guesses that the bomber doesn't live near the loop line given the damage the bombs would have done, and homes in on a condo that was out of the blast zone area, and was also where the timer stopped for that one bomb. They go there and find nothing. But this gets Conan wondering about where the bombs were set. Turns out they were in residential areas and a bridge that appeared in one of Leo's pictures.
This particular work is modeled after an English stone bridge instead of a modern iron bridge. Professor Joel received an award as the best young architect in the country because of it.
Apparently Santos had an interest in architecture. Who knew? So Conan wants to talk to Leo for input since the arsonist and the bomber might be the same person and are after him.
Wouldn't you want to know who was responsible if your house burned down?
A clever boy, aren't you?
Could he be the one given his intense know-how? No, don't be silly. I already gave away what happens to him. Rachel finishes up with meeting Serena and heads to that one skyscraper that Leo built. Could this be the time-bombed skyscraper from the title? I sure hope so, because it's barely appeared in this movie. On the way to Leo, they pass by a spot where the cat carrier bomb stopped its timer. That will be important later. They talk with Leo about who would want to harm him, when Conan notices a photograph of Leo and his family when he was younger. Santos notes how Leo's reputation skyrocketed after his old family home burned down. Conan goes to check the gallery and notices something with a certain smell. Pulling back a cover to something that wasn't here before, he discovers a model for the cancelled subdivision. It even has the same street lamps at that one park, so Leo also designed those lamps, and thus is the culprit.
But I still don't have proof. Jimmy, sometimes you just have to get crazy in a situation like this.
Everyone heads to the gallery, though Leo stops at his study to pick up his lighter. Conan, speaking as Jimmy, starts his deduction, until Richard accuses Santos like an idiot.
You were madly obsessed with the work of the professor's father, the great Lionel Joel. Connect the dots. The fire, the inheritance, the sudden spotlight shining upon the sun. You suspected the professor actually torched his own mother and father, so you burned down Joel's work to remind him that man cannot escape his past.
To be fair, Santos was acting like he could have been a suspect, but by this point, we know it's Leo. Conan accuses Leo and goes over his work on the Loop Line Bridge, and how he felt about destroying some of his work despite what he said before.
How come you know what he said when you weren't even at the stupid party, Kudo?
An actual good question! Never mind that, though. The available pictures of his work reflect English architecture, but are not truly symmetrical. For a man who strives to be perfect, he felt trapped by the limits imposed on his work. And when the councilman got removed, he lost the chance to build something the way he wanted. So he challenged Jimmy, who solved that case involving that councilman, to find the bombs as revenge. And he stopped the bomb near the lamps because they were going to be a symbol of his work. Leo denies all this, but when Jimmy tells them to look nearby for the bomber's disguise, this freaks him out. Then Conan comes out saying how Jimmy knew this would happen, hence why they set up a fake disguise set.
Stay back, unless you want me to trigger the massive bomb I have rigged to this very manor.
But if that's set to blow up the manor, why would you use it like a normal lighter? Well, for starters, Conan noticed that he was using a long match to light his pipe in the few times that he saw him, and the sweet smell of the pipe matches what the kids smelled. And fortunately, Conan took out the batteries to the lighter. Santos cuffs him, so all is well, right? However, Leo mentions how there is still an error they need to correct. There is one last bomb inside the tower that Rachel is at.
The bubble burst on the local economy during construction. I was forced against my will to cut corners. Selfish taxpayers.
You know, you could just not blow up the things people will visit. Makes you a bit of a psycho. They call Rachel to warn her, but too late. And you'd think this would mean people are killed, except not really. This bomb just sealed the entrances and exits to the building. There's a much bigger bomb still waiting to blow up after midnight. Conan swipes the plans to the bomb and takes off. Leo tells him to warn Jimmy that he's only given him a final 3 minutes, whatever that means. Conan gets into the building before it's completely sealed. And I guess they brought Leo here because they couldn't leave him alone, though that means he can just gloat over his actions. It's looking pretty grim as Conan runs up the destroyed stairs. Rachel tries comforting a couple people before getting a phone call from Jimmy.
Rachel, sorry.
Shut up, Jimmy! You know you're never around when I need you. You were supposed to meet me here at 10 and you're... Do you have any idea what I'm going through?
While this isn't the last time she says this, at least you care for their relationship and want to see it through. He's clearly right outside the room but is unable to get in. So he has her look for the bomb, which was inside a shopping bag. After some time, he asks Rachel to use the scissors she has to defuse the bomb. He guides her along with the blueprint, and so far it seems to be working, despite another explosion occurring elsewhere. Leo gets an earful from Richard, but then reveals how he left out the last wire from the blueprint.
Call it the Wire of Destiny.
God, he sounds so cool! And evil. Only 2 wires remain, red and blue, with no clue as to which one should be cut. Midnight strikes, Rachel wishes Jimmy a happy birthday, and he tells her to just cut whatever wire she wants. He'll be right beside her till the end.
Together, until the end.
This scenario was based on a sketch Aoyama made, and it's a good one. Rachel remembers the times red was brought up, so it's looking like she's going for that. But Conan realizes that Leo's 3 minutes was how long it took to celebrate his birthday. He also remembers Leo's reaction to Rachel's gift to him, meaning red is not the one to cut. There's a brief moment of silence as a wire is cut, and everyone waits to see what happens. The bomb is deactivated because Rachel cut the blue wire.
It can't be!
As the rescue team does cleanup, Conan finds Rachel. On behalf of Jimmy, he asked her why she cut the blue wire, and this is what she says.
I'd never
cut the red one. It's the thread that connects Jimmy and me.
Oh yeah, the red thing was because Rachel was reading the horoscope, and he was being coy about it truly meaning anything. The post-credit scene even has him looking for it, but not seeing it because it was for her and Jimmy. So that was the time-bombed Skyscraper. Not a whole lot of the Skyscraper, but that's beside the point. It's a movie that took a general premise and fleshed it out into a full movie, because Conan is much more than murder mysteries. Many cases can lead to large-scale plots that can threaten a lot of people, so seeing how our heroes deal with it while trying to figure out the culprit becomes a lot more exciting. The animation team, led by Masatomo Sudo, also went above and beyond what they're used to give us some stunning visuals and action sets. They're not always going to match the stylings of the manga, but that does get better over time. Going by the Funimation dub, the voice cast were pretty good in my opinion. I especially liked Kent Williams' performance the most given Leo's sophisticated nature. Aoyama even liked him enough to have that character make a minor appearance in a later movie. There's obviously more details regarding him, and pretty much many other characters, but I'm already stretching this out longer than I need to. For the first ever Conan movie, it's a good outing. Many other movies will even get better, and with the upcoming 30th anniversary of the anime, everyone will get a chance to see all the movies. Depending on how this one fares, I'll probably do more of these movies in the future. And maybe I'll have convinced some of you to give this series a try. I'm the Media Hunter. Media's my prey, and reviewing them my way.